Well, good morning, everybody. I pray that you had a great weekend and you enjoyed the extra hour of sleep you you received on yesterday. I hope you put it to good use. Amen. So what's up, everybody over in the conference line 5606? What's up, 5825? How are you? I pray that all is well and everything is going as planned, right? So we getting our day off to a great start, but not only our day, we're getting our week off to a good start. Come on, y'all, in Facebook and YouTube. Come on, let's get in. Come on, y'all, let's tap in. Man, I got a good 10-minute tune up today. I got a really good tune up today. Good morning, First Lady. How you doing? What's up, Sister Rhonda? Hey, Sister Donna. How are you? What's up, Elder Dexter? How are you, ma'am? Appreciate you being on. Somebody, I want y'all to share your post today. Let's get some other people connected to our 10-minute tune-up. A really good 10-minute tune-up. This is gonna really be good. I'm looking forward to it myself. So we're gonna get it going. Hey, Elder Gilder, how are you? To everybody on our post today, man, I'm looking forward to an incredible time. Yeah, what's up, Sister Lamisa? How are you? What's up, Erica? How you doing? I hope my baby did well yet. Competition. Okay. So look, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. So we're gonna get our time started, and as people come in, they'll be ready to connect. Hey, Sister Mia, how are you? So let me get my time started. So, man, on the other day, I was I was in the middle of something, and God revealed to me. He gave me some revelation on the situation that I was actually involved in, and He brought to mind that we're in this time of year, this season where it's very easy to let go. And when I say let go, I'm talking about, how everybody starts out the year, you believe in God for something and you're looking for something from God. You have desires. You say, man, this year, 20, whatever, is going to be a different year. I have high expectations. I'm looking for this to happen. I'm looking for that to happen. And all of us have that, man. All of us have that. And so the coming of a new year brings new excitement. It has greater expectation. And then you get to this point in the year. You get to this point in the year. You start to get to the end of the year, and what ends up happening for many of us, it may not be for all of us, but for many of us, what we end up doing is we end up releasing those desires. All right, it's November. We're getting into the holiday season. We're getting beginnings to start feeling festive. And so we want to kind of recalibrate, if you will, say, okay, man, all right, so I'm just going to start believing for 2025. I believe 2025 is going to be an amazing year. I'm believing for God to do something supernatural and spectacular in the next year. The problem with having this happen to us where we release the things that we believe in God and that expectation is that what we've done is we have terminated our faith. We've terminated our faith. And when you do that, you're actually giving up on God. That's what you're doing. Because if you believe that God is going to be instrumental in you receiving the thing that you're believing for, and before you even get to the end of the year, because you're believing for something in the year, before you get to the end of the year, you release and you say, okay, I'm looking forward to next year. God got some, but you haven't received everything that you're believing God for in this particular year. Then what you've done is you've evaded, or you've gotten off the faith, out of the faith, out of the faith process, the faith principle. You're not functioning in that. And so what I want to do is, because, and here's the reason. Let me just be really transparent. The reason why I'm saying that is because just a week or so ago, I found myself in that position. I found myself in that position because I and I'm coming really close to the time where I need it, y'all. I need it. I'm looking for this thing to happen before the end of this month, and I need it to happen before the end of this month, and because it's now the beginning of the month, I say, okay, all right, well, I'm gonna settle. I'm just gonna do something different. I ain't gonna worry about it. And that's what we do when it comes to our expectations. Okay, it's getting close, so I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna believe God for next year. I'm gonna believe God for something else. Well, that's not faith. You still have time. We still have time. And so what I want to do today is I want to reignite your faith for the things that you've been believing God for this year. For this year, 2024, because 2024 ain't over, y'all. We in the 10th month, but we only in the 4th day of the 10th month. And so we still got plenty of time, but I need to recalibrate and I need to refocus you, recenter you on continuing to believe God for the rest of this year, for all of the stuff that God has in this year for you. You don't release it talking about, I can't wait to 2025 if you haven't had everything you needed in 2024 to be fulfilled, because that's not faith. That's not the way faith works. And so here's what I want to do. I want to give you some things that I believe that's going to settle you and give you some confirmation and confirm with you and in you the things that's necessary for you to remain in faith for the things that you're believing God for 2024. Let's not even look at 2025 yet, y'all. We still in 2024. So here is the first thing that I wanna point out that's gonna be critical. Number one is it's a slash. It's prayer/praise. Prayer/praise. Here is an assignment for everybody that's connected to this post and connected to the 10-minute tune-up today. I want you to read Psalms 73 today. I need you to do it today. Do it this morning if you can. Read Psalm 73. And I want you to do it from the New Living Translation, though. Don't just do it in the regular King James translation. I want you to read it in the New Living Translation. David reveals something about himself. David reveals something about himself that I think sometimes we lose sight on when it comes to God writing about the patriarchs of old. David revealed it himself. He said, I almost messed up. I was looking at other people and what was happening in their lives. And I started to get really, really upset, envious, and jealous because of what was going on with them. And the reason why I'm using the 73rd Psalm is because sometimes we get like David was in this particular psalm when he wrote that psalm. And that psalm that David wrote is not just a praise, it's also prayer. He's praying to God. He's talking to God. He's having a conversation with God. So I want you to do that. Prayer and praise is essential because that's our connection to God, and it keeps us grounded. Because when you have that intimate conversation with God, what God does is for you, here's what he does. God actually will open your eyes to some things and give you a greater depth and revelation about some things that's occurring in your life that you need to be settled on. You need to be settled. You need to be settled that if God has not moved as of yet does not mean that he's not going to move. So you need to be settled. And that's what prayer and praise does for you. Here's the second thing that's going to be critical for you. You got to remain principled. You got to remain principled. When you're in faith, you got to understand there's three parts to faith. Number one, there's the promise. If God makes a promise and he tells you that he's going to do something, which is, here's what the Bible says. The Bible says that God will give you the desires of your heart if you delight in him. That's a promise. But then the promise is connected to process. That's the faith process. You got to go through some things before the promise is last and finally is your possession. So there's a three-step process, and that's principled. That's how faith works. It's the promise first. God says, I'll give you the desires of your heart. Then the second part is the process. You got to go through the process. He's got to work it out. He's going to working it out behind the scenes, and he's putting everything together for you. And then number three, there's the possession. you can't go straight from the promise to the possession. You got to go through the process, y'all. That's just the way it works. Here's the third thing which really helped me. I was about to give up and about to release. I was about to give up and release. And I realized that as I was talking to my family. They told me, no, if you want this particular thing, why are you giving up on the particular thing that you want, getting ready to settle for something else? Because if you get the thing that you're selling it for, then you're going to regret not waiting on what you really desired. And that's partners. You got to talk to people about the desires that you have, because sometimes we'll terminate those desires prematurely. And if you have a good partner, if you got some good people in your life, they're going to say, no, don't be giving up now. You can't give up now. You gotta hang in there. If this is not what you want, come on, y'all. If you have not received what you want up until this point, then you gotta hang in there. You can't let go. No, I'm partnering with you right now. You still have almost 2 months left before the end of the year, so you can't quit. You can't give up. Your marriage still has time to recover. Your children still have time to turn around. Your health still has time to recover. And here's the final thing is, man, you're gonna have to have some patience. You're gonna have to have some patience. You're gonna have to have some patience. Listen. The Bible says in James, the first chapter, let patience have a perfect work. At some point, you just got to have some patience. You got to wait. You got to wait. You got to wait it through. It's going to happen, but you got to have patience. You got to just wait and understand that, that even though it might be taking a while, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, right? And that for many of us, it reverts back to it brings us back to our childhood, because when many of us were young, when we were really, really young, patience was not what we was good at. Somebody even said patience is a virtue. Yeah, man, patience sometimes, man, is necessary, but it's painful. It's painful when you're believing for something and it's not happening in the time frame in which you expecting it to happen. But you gotta have patience. You gotta wait on it. You can't evade the process. You can't overcompensate by you getting involved in the process. If you're believing God to do something, you gotta let Him do it. Yeah, you can't get beyond that. That's what Saul did. Saul wanted to help God out. He wanted to help God out, so he started doing some stuff. And come to find out, Samuel say, "Hey, man, why you did that? You were not supposed to even be doing this." But Saul had no patience. He started to seeing things around him change, and because things weren't changing in his favor, he wanted to help out the process. He wanted to help out. He had no patience. He couldn't wait. And when he started, here's the problem. Here's the problem when we got to focus on. When Saul started trying to help God out is when God showed up. But the problem is his involvement prematurely caused him not to get the thing that he was desiring. So you gotta have patience. You gotta wait, y'all. You gotta wait. You cannot evade the process. Listen. So you gotta sit tight. It's gonna happen. We still got 2 months. Whatever you've been believing God for, quit looking at how big the thing was that you was expecting, as if God need the whole 12 months to actually do it. No. God can handle this thing. Whatever you're believing Him for, He got you. God could do it. He has the power to produce the possession that you have desire and need of. He has the power, but you got to sit tight. You got to have patience. And your patience may be painful, but listen, on the other side is joy. It's extreme joy. Yeah, it's extreme joy. You got to that's right, Sister Yvette, you got to just trust Him, man. He going to bring it to pass. All right, y'all. So that's my That's the 10-minute tune up today. Okay, I want you to stay focused, man. Don't forget, I want you to read Psalm 73, but I need you to read Psalm 73 in the New Living Translation. I want you to read it in the New Living Translation because it's going to give you a greater and a more in-depth revelation of what David was actually going through. And it's going to open up your eyes to David, man, because David was real. I love David. Man, David was a real dude. You know, when you listen to David and you listen to how he saw things and how he revealed his innermost thoughts and his innermost feelings, man, David, you got to admit, he was not a fictitious character. He was a real dude, man. And read that psalm, and I know it's gonna help you. I know it's gonna help you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great Monday. And guess what? This week is gonna be a winning week for you. Stack them wins up. And every time you stack a win up, don't forget to thank God for the win. Have a great week.